who are committing some of the dumbest crimes around. Let's find out, starting with number 6, Mario Kart Battle Mode. Menace to society, Kendra Nance turned a gas station parking lot into her personal demolition derby. The chaos unfolded one sunny afternoon in Forest Park, Illinois, when Nance, who had a driver's license that wasn't even valid, decided to escalate a shouting match at a Thornton's gas station into Thunder Hollow. After exchanging some frank and colorful opinions, and various flying objects, with 2 other women, Nance decided she'd let her vehicle do some talking instead. She went full Mrs. Fritter. Nance hopped into a Ford SUV and with her boyfriend in tow, literally, as he was dragged along for a bit, she aimed the vehicle like a missile at the other woman's car. Miraculously, dodging physical harm, the victims watched as their car took a serious beating. But Nance wasn't done yet. Her attempt to flee the scene led to a second crash, leaving her vehicle flipped over. Both she and her boyfriend decided to continue their escape on foot, injuries and all. Nance, evidently finding humor in the situation, was seen laughing as she crawled out of the driver's side window of the overturned SUV. Miss Fritter wasn't pleased. What truly sets Nance apart, aside from her unorthodox gas station exit strategies, are her accolades. 3 prior felonies, including a particularly heartwarming aggravated battery to a peace officer back in 2021, and a trilogy of misdemeanors that suggest she's no stranger to conflict. We were just as shocked as you to find out she's got a rap sheet. For her antics, she ended up with her bond set at a hefty $200,000, plus the bonus feature of electronic monitoring. As of the release of this video, she's still waiting for her day in court. Why she felt like crashing and destroying her own car was a good way to really teach those other women a lesson is beyond us. She just ended up looking like a moron, but maybe that answers the question. We're still left to wonder exactly what that fight was about at a gas station that ended up with 3 crashed cars, though. Number 5, the gas card. Nebraskan Dawn Thompson thought she hit the jackpot without hitting the lottery, but eventually found herself in deep trouble. Over 6 months, she filled her tank with 7,413 gallons of gas, all without paying a dime. How, you ask? She exploited a glitch at a Pump Pantry in Lincoln, Nebraska that allowed her to pump gas worth $27,000 for free. Her trick? Swiping a rewards card twice to switch the pump to demo mode. Voila, free gas. Too bad someone noticed. Thompson's scam ran from November of 2022 to June of 2023, but probably much longer since she wasn't the card's first owner. During her time with it, though, Thompson used the reward card about 510 times, which, if you break it down, that's getting gas basically every day almost twice. Staff at the gas station caught on to the scheme when they noticed something fishy with their fuel. A little digging revealed that a software update had left a backdoor open for Thompson's exploit. The police, with the help of some diligent loss prevention folks, pieced the puzzle together. They traced the rewards card back to Thompson thanks to the surveillance footage and a bit of detective work. As it turns out, Thompson didn't just keep the free gas for herself. She had a side hustle selling discounted gas. She even eventually sold the magic card for a nice amount before the loophole was fixed, which also hints that she probably knew the jig was up, because why would you ever sell a free gas card otherwise? When the authorities caught up with her, Thompson tried to paint a picture of herself as a pawn, claiming she got the card from a man who had since passed away after settling a car debt. However, the law wasn't buying her story. In the end, Thompson was arrested and charged with felony theft for taking more than $5,000 worth of gas. Her bond was set at $7,500, and she faced the music at her court hearing. The scheme was a clever idea since it went on for so long, but she was dumb enough to use that card that many times at the same location. Number 4, Cybertruck Tough. In Oakland, California, some guy tried to break into a Tesla Cybertruck and ended up embarrassing himself worse than Musk did when he debuted the truck. The truck has this thing called Sentry Mode, which turns its autopilot cameras into a mini surveillance system, and they caught the whole fiasco on video. This Cybertruck basically laughed off the attempt with its armored glass windows, leaving the thief baffled and eventually fleeing the scene. Tesla's Sentry Mode, a feature turning the vehicle's cameras into a security guard, captured the the wannabe thief's face clear as day before he realized he was on impractical jokers. He tried smashing the windows and even the roof, but Tesla's armored glass actually worked. The windows, made from a durable mix including borosilicate, have been a bragging point for Tesla, especially after a rocky debut in 2019 when a demo went sideways, leaving Musk red-faced as a metal ball cracked the window. They've since proven their worth against everything but bullets, though Musk has teased a version of the Cybertruck that could shrug off 9mm rounds. We'll let him test that one. Repairing this kind of toughness isn't cheap. A new windshield goes for about $1,900, while other windows could cost a couple $100 each. Roof damage? That's $1,000 or more to fix. Yet, for all the thief's gymnastics on the sunroof, the Cybertruck's defenses held up, making a mockery of his efforts. Behind this fortified electric vehicle is Arash Malik, a Tesla enthusiast and entrepreneur who also sells natural air fresheners designed specifically for Teslas. He's the one who shared the footage, jokingly claiming the Cybertruck is California-proof and a nightmare for criminals trying to break in. Number 3. The pesky camera. In Qinhuangdao, China, a guy thought he hit the jackpot by scoring a free meal using his pubic hair at a restaurant. Sitting alone, he ordered oysters, then decided to add a personal touch by plucking let's call it his special hairs and sprinkling them on an oyster. His grand plan was to complain about the unwanted seasoning to get his meal comped. After stirring his concoction with chopsticks, he flagged down the owner, put on a show of disgust, and scored a refund. The owner, smelling something fishy that wasn't on the menu, checked the CCTV footage and was grossed out by the discovery. Despite confronting the diner and demanding repayment, the guy refused to cough up the cash. This stunt turned him into a laughingstock online after the video went viral, amassing over 140,000 views. People were appalled, calling for this petty scammer to face the music. Whether the cops got involved or what punishment he faced remains a mystery. How dumb is the guy to not notice the camera catching his every move? You would think that he would have already come prepared with his special hairs already plucked. Number 2. Going back to the well. Texan Jesus Lopez caught running scams in 2 counties, conning folks out of over $21,000 by pretending to be things he wasn't, such as being a car salesman and a paralegal. His spree kicked off in May of 2023 in Mission, Texas, where he fooled someone into handing over $1,500 for a Chevy Impala at a car dealership where he had no business selling anything, since he wasn't an employee. When the buyer came back, they found out Lopez was as much a salesman as we're Willy Wonka with a chocolate factory. Not resting on his laurels, Lopez then targeted someone looking to get a divorce. He met them at a Burger King, where you'd usually meet your divorce lawyer, right? Claiming he would kickstart the divorce for $500. This meeting turned into a series of cash grabs totaling $5,300 for bogus legal services. But why stop at 2 victims when you can go for 3? Lopez then promised to bail out another victim's son for $6,700, a service he was as qualified to offer as a cat is to give swimming lessons. Predictably, no receipt was given, the son stayed in jail, and Lopez kept asking for more money, ending up swindling nearly $20,000 from this person under the guise of helping her son with various made-up fees and non-existent job opportunities. Lopez was finally arrested and hit with 3 counts of theft with a bond set at $155,000. Lopez, surprise surprise, also had warrants for similar charges in other counties, proving that if there's a wrong way to make money, he was interested. The thing was, he was bound to eventually get caught if he was repeatedly going after the same people. The car thing took some nerve though, right? To be out on some lot and actually convince someone to hand you money when you don't even have the keys to the car is pretty impressive. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to stay tuned right here for our past release to find out what this girl decided to offer if the teller gave her the cash. Number 1. Napping on the job. Tabor Carter from Oklahoma City landed himself in a heap of trouble over a pair of Balenciaga shoes. If you don't know, Balenciaga shoes aren't just any shoes, but the kind that can set you back $1,000 or more. Carter, going by Turbo on the app OfferUp, decided it was a brilliant idea to pull a firearm on a woman selling the pricey kicks. Instead of paying up, he flashed his gat at her head during what was supposed to be a simple exchange near a T-Mobile store. store. They had originally planned to meet at a 7-Eleven, but he was a no-show there. He probably felt like 7-Eleven attracts a criminal element, you know? Our guy Carter, though, wasn't exactly criminal mastermind material. During the handoff, when he tried to make off with the goods, the seller snatched one of the shoes back. Imagine being so bad at crime that you let the victim grab back the item you're stealing, and you're the armed one. And it was a girl by herself. And then, to add insult to injury, Carter was found by the police snoozing in his car a few hours later. When the cops tried to wake him, Turbo thought he could out-turbo them, leading to a police chase that ended up with him turboing into a power pole. This little stunt knocked out the power in the area and even sparked a grass fire, thankfully extinguished quickly by fire crews. His getaway plan literally crashed and burned, leaving him with a face that looked like it had gone a few rounds with a heavyweight champion, all swollen and cut up. For his troubles, Carter was hit with charges including endangering others while eluding police and robbery with a dangerous weapon. As of this video, he's being held without bond awaiting his fate. This guy is the Mr. Magoo of muggers. Obviously, we're not exactly criminal masterminds here, but seriously, how do you mess up the simplest of all muggings? The person literally brought items to you, and all you have to do is menace them with a weapon and leave. And instead, this guy ends up with one shoe, a wrecked car, a fire, and an embarrassing mugshot. What are some of the weirdest crimes? From an heiress who had literally no reason to scam to some weird guy licking sushi plates. You'll be asking yourself, but why? Let's get started with number 6, the accused heiress. Australian lawyer Ashland Nassif allegedly falsified a $150 million construction contract for a property development. Ashland's the daughter of high-profile Australian property developer Gene Nassif, who was known for his extravagant displays of wealth. Ashland had her own law practice called EA Legal and began her career as a property developer with her father's company. The firm is described as a multidisciplinary law firm specializing in property, planning, construction, commercial, and estate law. On the firm's website, Ashland described herself as a key player of one of Australia's most prominent property development companies and also listed that she frequently worked with developers and private investors. Throughout her career, she earned the trust and respect of many established companies and individuals as she was well respected for her ability to help people through complex real estate actions, financing and commercial actions, and property developments. So the point is, she's doing pretty well. Despite her father's fortune, Ashland wanted more. So she submitted fake contracts to Westpac Bank to meet a $10.5 million pre-sale condition for the Skyview Apartments in Castle Hill, Sydney. These contracts were reportedly used to secure the loan for her father's development company, Topplace, which was constructing the Skyview Towers, consisting of approximately 960 apartments. Ashland's fraudulent activities occurred over a 3-month period in late 2021, when her actions caught the attention of authorities. The authorities didn't agree with Ashland's plan, so they conducted an investigation into her operation. They raided 4 properties associated with Ashland, including her law firm, EA Legal. Authorities also searched Gene Nassif's home and office. After the raids, authorities took Ashland in for questioning, where they spent hours trying to get to the bottom of what she'd done. She was later charged. Ashland's father, Gene, posted a supportive message to her on Instagram, along with a video of a child playing on a beach. In his message, he told her to remember that he loves her and that she needs to believe in herself as much as he believes in her. But the video wasn't created by Gene, and the child wasn't his daughter, so there's that. He also stated he would always support her and that he may not be around for the rest of her life, but he would always love her for the rest of his life. That's really nice, but geez, Gene, she's not looking at life in prison or something. Ashland later appeared in court where she seemed disheveled while facing her fraud charges. During her initial hearing, Ashland's lawyer clarified that his client didn't receive any financial benefit from the alleged fraud. Additionally, he emphasized that she didn't have a criminal record, was of good character, and was a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Although prosecutors didn't oppose releasing her on bail, the magistrate ordered strict conditions to mitigate concerns she could fail to show at court or interfere with witnesses. The magistrate forced her to surrender her passport, pay $2.6 million in bail, and banned her from contacting 24 people, including her father. Additionally, she has to live with her mother, report to her local police station every day between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., and follow a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Number 5. Public lickings. Conveyor belt sushi restaurants in Japan faced a PR crisis after videos of a customer licking sushi and utensils went viral. A series of videos emerged showing a young man engaging in unsanitary behavior at a popular sushi restaurant. The Japanese public watched the videos in outrage, where the customer licked the rim of a teacup and soy sauce bottles and smeared his saliva on sushi pieces circulating on the conveyor belt. Conveyor belt sushi restaurants opened in Japan in the late 1950s and have been a popular sushi service ever since. They work by placing sushi on a rotating conveyor belt that passes diners. Customers can select the dishes they desire as they pass by, choosing from various options. These restaurants offer a more affordable and casual dining experience than traditional establishments, as they eliminate the need to order directly from a sushi chef. After the original viral videos, copycats visited other conveyor belt restaurants and engaged in the same gross behavior. 3 individuals who were caught drinking soy sauce directly from a communal cup were arrested in connection with the pranks. In response to the incidents, the Akindo Sushiro Company, which operates the restaurant featured in one of the videos, took measures to address the damage caused. They replaced soy sauce bottles, sanitized cups, and centralized utensils and tableware. The company also filed a complaint for damages with the police and received a direct apology from the individual responsible for the video. Additionally, the restaurant chain Kura Sushi, affected by the pranks, expressed their commitment to protecting the conveyor belt sushi model. They installed AI-equipped cameras to detect suspicious behavior, such as putting plates back, and implemented measures to report malicious behavior to the police. The company hopes the recent arrests will discourage copycat incidents and end the viral trend. Another restaurant, Kosimaru, decided to phase out its conveyor belt system to avoid any other pranks. They also plan to transition to a touch panel ordering system, likely as a response to the incidents and to enhance hygiene and customer safety. One of the individuals involved in the incidents at a Kura Sushi location, Yoshino Ryoga, apologized for his behavior. He acknowledged his wrongdoing and his actions' impact on the conveyor belt sushi industry. They arrested the kids drinking soy sauce as if drinking straight wasn't punishment enough. They need to get someone's old-fashioned strict grandfather in there. You think it's funny to drink soy sauce? Drink all of it then! Number 4. Doppelganger danger. A German woman, who's only identified as Sharaban K, allegedly took the life of a lookalike she found on Instagram in an elaborate attempt to disappear from her own in late 2022. She had met a girl only identified as Khadija O on Instagram, and with the help of her boyfriend, Sharaban lured her doppelganger into a forest when the crime occurred. They then abandoned Khadija's remains in the backseat of Sharaban's car. When authorities found Khadija, what they found was unrecognizable, and investigators believed Sharaban had fallen victim to the heinous crime. It wasn't until an autopsy report revealed that the victim was actually Khadija that law enforcement learned the truth and opened an in-depth investigation into the case. Sharaban had actively sought out women on Instagram who looked like her and contacted several potential victims before selecting beauty blogger Khadija. Khadija loved to share content of herself, trying out new products and giving her followers beauty tips. When Sharaban reached out to her, she thought it was the start of a new business deal. Sharaban enticed the beauty blogger by sending her messages about cosmetics and asking to meet up so she could give her some beauty product. 2 women arranged to meet so that Sharaban could give Khadija the cosmetics. Sharaban told her parents she was going to visit her ex-husband in Munich, but she drove to Khadija's place to pick her up instead. The 2 then drove into a secluded wooded area where Sharaban horrifically ended Khadija's life. After the crime, Sharaban and her boyfriend left her Mercedes somewhere passers-by could easily find it, leaving Khadija's remains in the back seat. Khadija was left so unrecognizable that it made it difficult for authorities to identify her, allowing them to mistake her for Sharaban. So why did Sharaban want to disappear? Investigators uncovered more information about Sharaban's motives. She had internal disputes with her family and wanted to go into hiding, and faking her demise meant she could escape her problems. Sharaban now faces charges for her crimes, and Shakir has been charged as an accomplice. Sharaban could face life imprisonment if she's found guilty. Just running away would have been a better solution, right? Number 3. Ostrich chicks. Thieves stole a flock of ostrich chicks from a hatchery at Hastings Ostrich Farms during the early morning hours in Victoria, Australia. Farm owner Michael Hastings awoke to find that he was missing 20 chicks, and the thieves' motive was unknown. Hastings feared that the thieves wouldn't know how to care for the young birds, who were only 2 weeks old. Birds that young require constant care and are very vulnerable to illness and mishandling, as each of them only weigh around 3.3 pounds on average each. Baby ostriches require specific care to ensure healthy development. They need a warm and controlled environment, a specialized diet consisting of high-quality ostrich or a specially formulated starter feed, hydration, socialization, and veterinary care. The stolen chicks held a significant monetary value, with the entire flock being valued at $10,000, and some individual birds worth up to $1,000 each. Hastings Ostrich Farms wasn't just known for its birds and for producing eggs, meat, and various products from ostrich leather. They also played a crucial role in supplying ostrich chicks to hobby farms nationwide. Wait, was that the classic get rich quick scheme? Number 2, the lion statue. A scammer convinced an unnamed elderly widower from Oregon to spend his entire life savings on a statue of a lion. The con artist met the widower through an online dating service, and the pair quickly began a long-distance romance. While the widower thought he was falling in love with a woman that loved him back, he was talking to someone that had stolen a woman's identity. Only the scammer gained the man's trust. He convinced him to invest in a Florida art gallery. The scammer claimed that the investment would help raise $5 million to ship a large marble lion sculpture from Wuhan, China. The fraudster promised the widower a high return on investment and profits from the statue's eventual sale. Any concerns the widower had were put to rest by the fraudster's thorough planning. To seem legitimate, the scammer provided fake bank statements and documents outlining the contract with the museum. Over 5 months, the widower made several payments totaling $200,000, which were his whole life savings. Once the entire balance had been transferred, the scammer vanished. Turns out, the marble lion was actually a well-known 47.5-foot long wooden sculpture located in a square in Wuhan, and there were never intentions to ship it. Victims of scams of this nature often wire funds overseas or to third-party transfer agents, making it very difficult to track down the money and identify the con artist. Unfortunately, this means that the widower is unlikely to ever recover his life savings. Number 1. The Promise. Rachel Camille Calhoun used the promise of doing certain special personal favors to carry out a bank robbery in Forestdale, Alabama. The incident unfolded at Regions Bank Branch on Tomahawk Road in Forestdale. Shortly before 10 a.m. on Wednesday, Calhoun reportedly entered the bank and handed the manager a carefully crafted note. The contents of the note revealed a shocking strategy. Calhoun demanded a sum of $6,000 from the bank's vault, offering an intimate favor as a reward if the manager complied. However, she threatened to accuse the manager of sexual assault if he refused. Authorities swiftly responded to a report of the attempted robbery, with law enforcement quickly arriving at the scene. Deputies discovered Calhoun still inside the bank and promptly apprehended her, thwarting the crime and saving the employees. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office continuing its investigation into the incident, aiming to gather additional evidence and gain further insights into the motives and intentions of the suspect. Authorities and the public were puzzled by Calhoun's approach, simply because who proposes this in a bank robbery? Calhoun was held in custody and formally charged. Click to watch one of these next videos. Let us know in the comment section what you'd rather have: your favorite team win a championship this year or $5,000.